What's up, family? Welcome to Mini Bytes session 41. And today's theme is Humility is a Gift. My name is Erin McCluskey, and I'm a mindset and performance coach. If you'd like to learn more about my work, you can visit my website at www.erinjewelcoaching.com. You can also reach out to me directly through that website. It's www.erinjewelcoaching.com. So today's theme, humility is a gift, was inspired by this day, and today is Good Friday. So in the Christian religion, today is a pretty intense day. It involves an arrest. It certainly involves lots of humiliation and a death. And I was walking, I live here in Philadelphia, and I was walking through Rittenhouse Park this morning, and I saw a group of school children carrying 3 large wooden crosses, and I was instantly reminded of humility and what humility really is, and why humility is such a gift. My perception of humility has shifted dramatically since getting honest about my addiction. And I used to think humility, honestly, was a weakness, and it kind of got in the way of my pride and my ego, which I perceived as strengths once upon a time. And I know that I'm not alone in that. And I also will keep the focus on me and say that once upon a time it was my pride and ego that seemed to really serve me in certain ways, or at least that's the story that I told myself. The story I told myself was that it was pride and ego that would allow me to succeed in my career and professional life and sort of get ahead and stay on that competitive edge. And as it turned out, that was exactly the thing that was taking me away from my faith and sort of the more sustainable, fulfilling aspects. It turned out that things like pride and ego weren't really making me happy at the end of the day. They weren't really filling that proverbial hole that I talk about. And really it was things like a more intimate connection with self, a more intimate connection with the God of my understanding that became the things that were most fulfilling. So why is humility a gift? My perception of humility, as I mentioned, changed, and it became a gift when I realized that when we tell the truth, it brings a certain amount of humility. So when I tell the truth about something, let's say there's something I've been hiding, maybe I've been, sneaking sugar, or like I said, in my active addiction, I would hide things, I would lie about things. When I told the truth about these things, it kind of, as we use in the recovery community, it kind of right-sized me. So I became more humble, I became more aware. For me, humility is an awareness of who I really am, and that is someone who is imperfect, and that's okay. So humility became a gift for me because with humility kind of edged out the ego. Humility is kind of the antidote to ego. It's kind of like the kryptonite, to ego, because when we're experiencing humility and when we're feeling humbled, it's really impossible for that ego aspect, that other voice, to be heard. And some people will say that ego is an acronym and it means edging God out. And I believe that. And, there's a lot of different ways that we can look at, what God means. And, for me, a lot of that has to do with connection with self. So if I'm edging God out, I'm also edging out in a more authentic and a more intimate connection with self. So when ego's involved, it's harder for me to connect with myself. So a way for me to allow ego to fall away is to experience humility. And a way for me to arrive in a place of feeling humbled and aware of how imperfect I am and how perfect that is by telling the truth. And when I tell the truth, it reminds me of who I am, which in a sense makes me feel more humbled. So that is why I believe humility to be a tremendous gift. And I believe that humility is something we all have access to, but it's not something that all of us take advantage of. So, as I wrap it up for today, I guess I would just share on a day like today, which in certain faiths is a really special day. It's a really intense day. It's a sad day. It's a very somber, sobering day. Just to remember that humility is a gift, and if we are feeling humbled, whether it's something that we observe, like I saw these children carrying these big crosses this morning, and how humbling that was. Receiving that as a gift today, receiving those moments where we might feel humbled as a true gift and something that's an antidote to ego, something that allows us to show up more powerfully and authentically as we are. I love you all. Until the next time.